And we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
Sasa, forget about Christian or Muslim. Nigeria is not a country that is totally Muslim or a Christian. All what we need is somebody that can lead the country to a promised land.
As a mother, these are too many things that loaded in you, so you have to understand that if God gave you all these realities, He's also giving you grace and capacity.
Thank you. Yes, I love what I do. Shegungele, this is what they call me, so this is Shegungele.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
Call Kayode Ajanaku, 9903 State Highway 6 South, Suite 600, Sugarland, Texas 77498. Telephone 713-776-3275.
Welcome to Wazobia Market.
A very beautiful Saturday morning to you all in the city of Houston. Well, my name is Jim, okay? It's exactly 1 week that we were here last. Yes, I say we, that's myself and Professor Patrick Omosage. We're here last week, Saturday, and a week is a long time for anything to have happened, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the not so beautiful. And of course, many of us have also been on top of stories happening around the world. Once more, you're welcome to Dawn on MBC. It's a very beautiful Saturday morning here, wherever you're watching us from. Okay, and we can also tell you that you can go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook. Drop us your comment. Those are very key to helping us stay in line and staying on track. Once again, so let's go to our trending stories this morning. And I see this as very important and pretty crucial. It's the story of a recall. So I got this late last night and I thought it was very important because I am also very guilty of it. And it's not a bad thing to get addicted to because we all talk about being healthy and eating healthy now. And it's a recall of cucumbers. So there's been a recall of a certain kind of cucumber here in Texas and around the U.S. because this is said to have caused 300 people to be sick. And this cucumber is said to contain, to have salmonella in it. And right here in the state of Texas, already 30 people have been diagnosed with this, which makes it bad. So you've been told to please check with your retailer to see what brand you bought. Now, to be very precise, this kind of cucumbers, I'm told, are sold in bulk. That's so it comes in a carton. So if you're one who goes to purchase in singles, yeah, you may not be at so much risk, but it's still safe to check, all right? Better safe than sorry. So that's it on the cucumber stories. You can read more about it online if you're interested to know more. The contaminated cucumber should be thrown out and not consumed. That is the warning. Please do not consume it. Now, to the next story, also around the U.S., we all know the story of Kim Davis, the clerk who refused to marry gay couples. Well, she has been sentenced to jail. Not just that, only that's a picture appearing right up there. Not just about that, the most recent thing is that Kim Davis would not be able to go to beg for money on a GoFundMe. So she's been trying to, it's all about her religious belief. She thinks she's not going to do this though she was given the option of either carrying out the wish of the court, all right, or she goes to jail, and she decided to say, okay, look, I'll go to jail because I'm not still going to do it. But while she's been taken away from that position, gay couples have been issued wed marriage licenses in Kentucky. So what else can I say about that? Well, it's an issue of belief, right? It's our belief, and we all have our beliefs. What do you say, Prof?
But it's also the law. It's law in the United States, so she has a duty to also uphold the law. Because even in our Bible, it does say that give to Caesar what is Caesar and give to God what is God.
So what you also got the fact that it's okay. You could disagree with the law,
yes,
okay, on your personal belief, but you cannot. It's an offense to disobey.
And she works for government. This is not a private place where you issue marriage
license. And people would have thought, okay, probably you just resign, right?
Yes, I mean, you either resign or step aside and let someone with a more flexible religious belief do the job. But she wants to go to jail. She wants to prove something. That's fine.
Okay, all right, that's it. And another story that we're tracking at the moment on our training stories is the story of the Syrian boy. All right, I categorically said we're not going to use this picture because we do not want to reenact some terrible feelings. A very young boy who was carried off the sea shores this past week.
Look, Europe is in, I would say, some kind of trouble.
Right now?
Yes, the migration problem within Europe is really starting to tell on them. And and most of the migration is done on water. And this young 3-year-old not only died, but their father lost his wife and another child.
Right.
So this is, it sets the whole of Europe and the world on flames in feeling sorry for what is going on in Europe. But the wars in Europe, especially the war in Syria,
is what is happening, is what is allowing all this to happen. And I don't think Europe addressed that issue early enough. Over 300,000 people milling around Europe right now,
yes.
Almost with nowhere to stay. It's a problem, and this is a problem they have to find a way to solve, and solve it very quickly.
And people walking, trekking all the way to get to Austria.
The funny thing is that many of these migrants from Syria, they all have a few countries they want to go to. Hungary is not one of them.
One of them.
Germany is the most, is where most of them want to go, and France. So that is where they want to get to. But because of the laws of Europe, which is really an open border situation, once you get into one, you're usually able to get to the others. So and that is what is causing a problem for them.
Okay. All right. At this point, we'll take a quick break. And remember, if you've been following us on Facebook or following me on Twitter, we've been talking about the fact that we're going to be joined this morning by the Senior Special Advisor on Media Publicity to the President of Nigeria in the person of Mr. Femi Adeshina. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Or let's hope we're able to get him on the line right now. And that will be, we'll just set the ball rolling. It's done on MBC.
Forget about Christian or Muslim. Nigeria is not a country that is totally Muslim or a Christian. All what we need is somebody that can lead the country to a promised land.
As a mother, these are too many things that loaded in you, so you have to understand that if God gave you all these realities, He's also giving you grace and capacity to motivate.
Thank you. Yes, I love what I do. Shegungele, this is what they call me, so this is Shegungele.
Yes.
Interview with you. Okay, you're welcome back to Dawn on MBC. In case you've just tuned in, this is the Saturday morning tradition for Africans living here in Houston. And like I told you that we'll be having a guest on the line all the way from Nigeria, and I think this is very significant at this point because this coincides with 100 days of the present administration in Nigeria. And I am talking about the Senior Special Advisor to the President of Nigeria in the person of Mr. Femi Adeshina. And until his appointment, Mr. Adeshina was the Managing Editor of The Sun and also the President of the Guild of Editors in Nigeria. Good morning, Mr. Adeshina.
Hello,
Yeah. All right, good. Top of the day, good, because good morning, Houston, and good evening in Nigeria.
Good evening, Nigeria.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us this morning. And first, I must start off by congratulating you on your formal swearing-in ceremony as the Senior Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the present administration. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you.
So let's take it off from there. Can you just give us a general feeling of this new role that you're in as a Senior Special Advisor on Media and Publicity? You know, you moved from someone who has always been chasing the stories to someone who now has to explain stories. You know, it's not all journalists that will have the opportunity to experience these dual roles. What do you have to say to us?
I'll say the two roles are interrelated in one way, and that is they both have something to do in the media, with the media. Earlier on, I was in the media. I'd been there for 29 years, and now I was given this assignment, and while performing the assignment, I still have to relate with the media. So I just see this as an extended role of extension of what I was doing in the media.
Okay, thank you very much.
Very good, Mr. Adeshina. This is Patrick Omosagi. Thanks again for joining us. Look, the last 3 weeks in Nigeria has been kind of hot. There's been this discussion about whether the president or APC promised us some goodies in the first 100 days. But we have all also then seen the video of the president then when he was still campaigning in his stopover in London, where he said he's not a miracle man. Now, that he wasn't going to perform any miracles because the problems in Nigeria were, you know, something that would take time. But I wake up this morning to see your article, which you wrote, a new sheriff in town. A new sheriff in town. And in that article, let me quote just something you said. You said, intangible, almost imperceptible achievements, but which run very deep. Now, now you go on further to mention a few things that you and I think a lot of Nigerians have actually seen happen, which, you know, whether you want to call them achievements or not, things that are moving forward. 5,000 megawatts of is now being generated. The foreign reserves have spiked up. It's going up. There's no hint of fuel scarcity. And the refineries are back online. Now, again, but you guys disputed for some time that there was no need to show anything in 100 years. But you have shown it. Now, it's either the president is a miracle worker, which he said he wasn't going to be, or you are now telling us exactly what he has done. Can you explain why there was that kind of dispute over?
Yes. While the president promised Nigerians what he will do during the campaigns and immediate and even on inauguration day, he did not put a timeline. He did not say he was going to achieve it in 100 days. Why limit yourself to 100 days and put unnecessary pressure on yourself when you've been given a 48-month mandate? The mandate he has is for 48 months.
True.
So why heap unnecessary pressure on himself by striving to achieve in 100 days what he could spread over the years? So the essence of designing that document that had limited him to certain achievements within 100 days was that we have 48 months to achieve. So why put pressure on ourselves?
Which is true, but look, the reason everybody talks about 100 days is now it has become almost a tradition around the world. It's just not in Nigeria. Everybody looks towards a government's first 100 days. Even Cameron in England, on the 15th of August, he also marked 100 days, and all over the papers in Europe, that is what they were talking about. That again, it is because it has become some kind of tradition. People see it as a guideline, as a pathway, as to what the next 4 years of a presidency would be.
Now, back to you, Mr. Adeshina. One of the... Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yes, people are at liberty to believe in the 100 days or not. Unfortunately, our own president has said it that he does not believe in the 100 days thing. His very first day at the presidential villa, when he went to pay a courtesy call on the State House press call, he told them, he said, I know you guys very soon will be assessing me at 100 days. He said, I do not like that culture because it puts unnecessary pressure on public office holders. So that was what he said. And we need to just respect his own conviction about the 100 days thing. Yes, in most parts of the world it's accepted, but then each one is at liberty to either accept or not accept it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, the next question is, the issue of corruption is one that is constantly on the lips of Nigerians, both home and abroad. And the presidency, the administration, has never mixed words in its determination to fight corruption to the roots in Nigeria. Now, the question is, in the last couple of weeks, there have been issues about topics and stories about prosecution of people up until the point where we had a two weeks ultimatum to say, oh, people will soon start getting prosecuted for corruption in Nigeria. But the question now is this, Mr. Adeshina, where would you say the fight of corruption is at the moment, looking at 100 days in office?
Now, can I have the question again, that last bit?
Yes, so what would you say, where would you say you are on the scale of fighting corruption in Nigeria at the moment, considering that the 2 weeks that people expected things to happen has gone past?
Okay. Well, quoting the president himself, I'll say we are at the very threshold of seeing people taken to court to come and answer for what they did while they were in office. Because the president himself said it 2 weeks ago that in a matter of weeks. So, I'm depending on what he said. We are at the very threshold of seeing people charged with corrupt acts.
Yes, you just like you said the president said in a matter of weeks. I quote again from your write-up, a new sheriff in town. You now write in a matter of months. We want to see something happen, Mr. Adeshina. That's what we're all waiting for, both home and abroad.
Weeks translate to months. I think what I was just trying to say is in a short while. Maybe let's say it that way.
Okay. All right, Mr. Adeshina, we'll take a quick break right now. For those of you who've just tuned in, this is Dawn on MBC. It's live. And we're on the line with Mr. Femi Adeshina, Senior Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to President Mohammadu Buhari of Nigeria. We'll be right back with him on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Toda noite, bem suave caiu meio-dia, uma chuva e com aroma a natureza se espalhou. Festas da natureza eu posso ver.
So we still have Mr. Femi Adeshina on the line from
Nigeria,
and then Prof has one more question for him.
Yes, like we're just talking really off camera, Mr. Adeshina. I was asking, Nigeria just finished a soccer game, and I was trying to kind of get to that. What's the score? Even though you said you just gotten in and all that, it ended 0-0. But on the other hand, the Nigerian basketball team, the D Tigers, just won the African Championship. Now we know that we had a past president that was known as a handshake president. What is President Buhari's mood towards sports? That is one area that nobody seems to have talked about yet.
Okay. Well, let's recall that when the Tigers won last week, immediately President Buhari asked us to release a statement congratulating them, which we did. And I guess later that victorious team may be visiting. If they do visiting, that will be the first victorious sports contingent he will be receiving. And I am sure whatever comes out of that visit may set the tone for what will happen going forward.
Okay, so I just have this text that just came in while we're talking, Mr. Adeshina, and this is coming from Chooks from Sugarland, and he's trying to ask, okay, because like I said, Nigerians abroad here in the U.S. are very concerned about what's happening at home, and so the question is, in the fights against Boko Haram and insurgency in Nigeria, where are we on the scale right now? How safe is the country?
Yes. You will recall that when President Buhari was in Washington in July, during an interview he had been asked when likely Nigeria would eventually defeat Boko Haram. He said in 18 months he was sure the whole insurgency would be over. That was in July. And then on August 1, he visited Benin Republic. And there he said he was sure Boko Haram would have been defeated by December ending. That was 4 months. Then again, when he was swearing in the new service chiefs, he gave them marching orders to end the insurgency within 3 months. Now, why did he keep changing the timeline? Because as commander-in-chief, he has information that we do not have. And because one is a retired general, two is not a frivolous person, you will know that for him to have changed the timeline, bringing it nearer that way, shows that he has information that this thing is almost over. I tell you, since this administration came into office, Boko Haram has not seized any territory. You know, in the past they will seize a territory, plant their flag there and count it as part of their caliphate. They've not been able to do that since May. And some of the territories they had been holding, Nigeria Army had also flushed them out. Just in this week, they were flushed out of Gaboru, Ungala, and Borno State. So it shows you that Boko Haram is being defeated and being degraded seriously. And that is why they resorted to what they call asymmetric war in recent days. Bombing soft targets like markets, like bus stops and all that. So I believe that in terms of peace, battle, and warfare, this thing is almost over.
Okay, so let me quickly give you a follow-up to that question, piggyback on that question with you. Now, we keep talking, we emphasize so much about the insurgents, the terrorists. What about the victims of this these insurgents? What plans does the government have in terms of helping these people resettle and also build back their various communities?
Good. During that Washington trip, the Nigerian delegation had a meeting with World Bank team. And the World Bank team offered $2.1 billion to Nigeria as a soft loan, which will be repaid over 30, 40 years. And the first 10 years will be interest-free. And you know what the president said? He said a large part of that money must be used to resettle victims of Boko Haram. We have minimum of 1.5 million internally displaced people in Nigeria. Now we talk of those in Cameroon and other places who are also Nigerian. So there is a grand plan to resettle the victims, reunite them with their families, and grant them succor as soon as the insurgency is over. There is a grand plan to rebuild the Northeast. When the president visited Germany in June, the G7 asked them what they could do. He asked for intelligence, he asked for weapons, and then he asked for assistance to rebuild the Northeast. He specifically said when the time for rebuilding comes, he does not want cash. Rather, he wants them to send in their expertise to help in the rebuilding of the region. So there is a lot to be unfolded for the victims.
Good. Thank you. Of course, you guys are obviously aware of our loss here in the United States, the loss of Professor Adefuye, the ambassador to the United States. And we know, obviously, a replacement will be coming. And also, when the president visited Washington, D.C., I mean, we had also heard that they were going to reopen a western section of our embassy back in San Francisco. And we in Houston, I'm talking on behalf of the people of Houston here, we don't want San Francisco. What can you do to help us?
Maybe we should say this. Are there plans is there any plan in place to open an office, an embassy, or an office right here in Houston, considering that Houston is the home to about 400,000 ancestral Nigerians?
And then we also have a direct flight from here.
Okay, great. Let me just extrapolate from what happened in Benin Republic when we visited August 1. The people there said, that was in Cotonou, they said those in the northern part of their country needed an annex of the embassy there, because it took them 7-8 hours to travel to the capital to have access to embassy assistance. And you know what the president said immediately? He directed the ambassador to work out the details with the Foreign Affairs Ministry so that there could be an annex in Benin Republic. So I guess if this also comes up, there is something the president will look favorably at.
I hope
so.
So.
This will be officially brought up.
Oh, if it officially pops up. Yeah. Well, we believe we've spoken to you, so it should one day officially pop up. At this point, I must say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Adeshina. We do appreciate your time this evening in Nigeria and this morning here in Houston. And just before you go, is there anything we have not touched on that you will wish to pass across to Nigerians living in the city of Houston?
Yes, I'd just like to tell Nigerians in the diaspora that things are indeed looking up in the country, and they will get a lot better. In the not too distant future, as many as want to return home, to contribute in one way or the other to the development of the country, will have opportunities, because this president and this administration are determined to make a difference.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Adeshina, and I hope we can always call on you anytime Nigerians in Houston need to be informed as to where this government is headed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It will be my pleasure.
All right. Do have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. If you missed that, oh my gosh, I don't know how to start the summary for that, because we just finished speaking with Femi Adeshina, the Senior Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to President Mohammadu Buhari, all the way from Nigeria. And we did touch on crucial issues, but from bordering security, we talked about governance, we even talked about that issue that Nigerians living in Houston have always been talking about, citation of a consular office here in Houston. And he did give his answer. So if you missed it, you can always watch past episodes of Dawn on YouTube. Just go onto YouTube, type Dawn on MBC. It's right there for you. Now it's time for us to take a quick break, and we'll go back to our headline news that we were taking before the call came in. It's Dawn. doing this beautiful Saturday morning? And I still have with me, I still have the pleasure of having in the studio Professor Patrick Omo Osage. And right now, we'll be taking the... I saw that when you came in this morning, the first thing you discussed with the producer was the ongoing Nigeria match.
Yes. I mean,
which ended
0-0.
0-0. Good, bad, or ugly?
Because I didn't see
Good, bad, or ugly, Prof? 0-0.
It's okay. I mean, look, then at times that, you don't want to qualify someone with good, bad, or ugly. When you ask, how is that person?
It's okay.
It's okay. Oh, okay. Like
so the match you say is okay?
The match is okay. I haven't seen the match, and I haven't even read. I mean, I'll go back and read. I've always been interested, because we have a new coach, I've always been interested to see his formation. How are we playing? Are we high pressing? Are we low pressing? All the different new styles of football. That's
and
one thing we haven't
I heard as of yesterday through a reliable source who's a sport person that the 70 or 80% of the team, yes, were local rights.
I don't know whether they were local. I don't think so. I mean, it's almost impossible to have 70-80% to be local players. The truth is that we don't develop good players within our system anymore. I mean, they have to go abroad to be refined. I mean, if I'm sure the team list, if I do see the team list, I would think it is 70-80% will be players that play abroad. I mean, this is a coach that is new, has lived and worked abroad now for most of his adult life now. But again, 0-0 playing away from home is not a bad result. It's usually not a bad result. You didn't give away points, and you gained, 1. So, it's never a bad result for them. So let's see what happens when we play a return, or how things progress with this coach. This is his first game. So good for Olise, he did not lose. In sports, I always say, if you don't lose, you're fine.
There's still hope.
Yes, you're fine.
Okay. So let's also move to the this past week, the Afro basketball Nigeria won. What do you say about that?
Look, tremendous achievement. I mean, this is something we have chased. I mean, I played a lot of basketball in Nigeria. Actually, I've been part of the national coaching. I've been a coach for the Nigerian national team. I was on the female team for a couple of years. So I do understand the need for us to have won this, and to have done this on a foreign land in Tunisia, and beating, and we went through the big teams, the teams that have always given us problems. Actually, we beat the two teams that we have lost to in other finals that we have been to, which is Senegal and Angola. So this was a tremendous achievement for Nigerian basketball, and obviously this qualifies us for Rio next year, the Olympics. Will be our second. It will be our second appearance in a basketball Olympic tournament, which is back to back. The girls did almost the same thing in the early 2000s. So good for Nigerian basketball, good for the men's team.
Okay, I know some people may be wondering, how come he's commenting on basketball? Well, for those who know him so well, they do call him coach. That's talking about Professor Patrick Omosage. They call him coach. He's a basketball coach, and he has had a lot of stints with national players on the national level.
I've been around Nigerian basketball since 1968. And that's a very long time. I'm trying to almost tell my age here, but that's fine. I've been around Nigerian basketball for a very, very long time. And so when people call me coach, it's not because I either coach them, it's because of my involvement in basketball. When I leave here now, I'm actually going to a coaching session with John Lucas in his facility here at the Woodlands. I mean, because there's a Nigerian kid that is one of the top prospects in basketball, is a freshman in high school that is going to be appearing in this camp that John Lucas is hosting this weekend. It's called the Top 40, and this kid, who has just arrived in the country barely a month, he's already been touted as one of the best prospects in basketball in years to come. Okay, so let's take a look at the ongoing All-African Games in Congo, Brazzaville. It started on Wednesday, and it's been on and on and on. Let's take a quick a sample of the welcome song and all of those right now. I guess my producer is ready to roll.
So that's a little something talking about the All African Games 2015.
Always the biggest sporting event in Africa. That is Africa's Olympics. I mean, all the 54 countries usually would participate. Congo Brazzaville, they were also the first host of the All African Games in 1966, I think. So this makes it almost 50 years. I think it's 1966, almost 50 years anniversary, which is good for them. Obviously, everybody knows that Nigeria has hosted it twice, 1973 and 2003. So All African Games, like I said, biggest sporting event in Africa. Now, how will Nigeria do is always a miracle, because there are some sports that what we call the medal sports that we don't seem to do very well in, and which is swimming. So I mean, if you don't do well in swimming, it's always very tough to top the medals table.
Right.
So that, but let's see what happens. I mean, it's all fun. I have spoken to some of the basketball players that are actually in Brazzaville right now, and they're really having a good time. They actually think that Brazzaville is a very, very friendly country. Congo Brazzaville is a very friendly country.
Okay, and to the final thing, it seems like it's all about sport this morning, but it's just what's happening around, right? So we're moving from one to another. Now, it's about the FIFA. It's no longer news that very soon they're going to be contesting for the FIFA presidency. And we've had Africans signify interest. We've had someone from Liberia. Now, Segun Odegbami, the very mathematical Nigeria footballer, has also signified interest in contesting for the presidency of FIFA. What's your take on that? What are his chances?
His chances are almost nil. I mean, that's really the politics of football. I mean, his chances are, but it's good that he's thrown his heart in. I mean, with this, at least we're going to see what his objectives are, what he believes he can do. I don't have a problem in him trying to contest, but I don't think he has played the politics in the right way. FIFA is a really big organization. I mean, it's probably known for corruption now. That is why we're having an election less than 1 year after we just had the last election and all that. But I like Mr. Odegbami. Him putting his name in this mix shows that at least he has some ideas. I mean, he's going to have to put those ideas forward. And even if FIFA rejects him, maybe we'll be looking to use those ideas in our Nigerian system.
Okay, so now let's also look at it from what is the probability that an African can get there. I told you he's just another African who has signified interest. We've had someone from Liberia who has also signified interest in contesting the FIFA presidency. What's the chances as Africans?
Look, you said the current setup of the way votes are taken in FIFA would normally say that an African should have a chance because we have 54 votes.
Right.
You combine that with the Asian countries, you probably would have a majority. But that's not the way it works. I don't even think that Mr. Odegbami is even going to get an endorsement from his own federation, which is the Nigerian Football Federation. Not to talk of an endorsement from his own confederation, which is the African Confederation. So that's why I said it's almost a zero-sum thing. He's not going to be, I don't see how he can become FIFA president, because if you don't get an endorsement from your country and from your confederation, you really can't go anywhere with it. Now, can an African win? Yes, an African can win, but you must be able to play the politics. You need 3 confederations to really be on your side, and that is the Arab countries, the Asian countries, and obviously the African countries. You have those 3, you can always defeat Europe and South America.
Africa, the AAA.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always defeat the Europeans or the South Americans. Yeah.
Okay. Well, people, it's time for us to go on done this morning. It's been a great one. It's been interesting. It's been revealing. We've had interviews. We've also had discussion concerning sports. But hey, how can we go? We know it's Labor Day weekend, right? It's a Monday, Labor Day, and everyone would have the opportunity of relaxing. So it's a long weekend for everyone, the students, the adults, and every other person. Make sure you do enjoy your Labor Day. And please, 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 do not forget to go to our Facebook page. Just type Dawn on MBC. Go like us on Facebook. I look forward to reading your comments and your contributions. You have questions about past episodes or past topics that we have discussed, please drop us a line. Or you can always tweet me at I am Jimmy. Just go I am Jimmy. It's that simple. Go on our Facebook page, like us, send us an email, send us text messages, call us. We're more than willing to respond and take your comments and your contributions. So until next week, remember to be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. If you're going to drink in moderation. Be careful so no one pulls you over. If you're going to party, enjoy all your parties. And you can always go on live to the website www.mbclivetv.com. You can watch past episodes on YouTube too. So Prof, your last word before we go.
Well, like you said, we have a long weekend. Let's take a time and enjoy it and have a great time, and see you all next week.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stop there. Stop there. A lot of people are looking for work out there. You have work, you are looking with you. You are on your way out of service. I can assure you. On your way out of service. Coming to work late. Gotten another job already. You will take this job. Why do you not have it? 6,000. Only give me 26,000. Hey, don't go anywhere. Stop there. Stop there.